Hey guys, so welcome to another episode of Off the Cuff, and today we're going to talk about Super Mario Strikers Battle League. And so I've been super excited for this game. I've been waiting for Super Mario Strikers for such a long time, and the last game that we had was all the way back in the Wii. So it was inevitable and it was about time that Nintendo finally released a sequel. The week before this game came out, Nintendo decided to allow early access. I guess you can consider it an early access demo of the game because it wasn't the full game, and allowing two players experience the game before it came out. And so unfortunately I didn't get to play online and I didn't get to play this game for too long, but I'll get into why that is. But I got to play about, I want to say, an hour, so this is just an early first impressions of what I thought about the game. So let's start with the good. So the first thing is the game looks good, whether in terms of the controls, the visuals, just everything about it I really enjoyed. I love the music of how it sounded, how the characters looked, and how their attire also fit how the character looked. And also I loved how the Hyper Strike, which was their special attack, how amazing, and all in all the game was very eye-catching. So great job on that, Nintendo. And also what I love about this game, similar to a lot of Nintendo games, was was the epitome to easy to play, hard to master. And how they allowed it in this game was that with this game you're able to, as any soccer game, shoot and steal the ball, and just being able to do simple maneuvers just to get through the game. And so you don't necessarily have to learn the advanced moves to fully enjoy the game, but I love that it's available in your disposal if you really want to do it. And so the advanced techniques come in terms of advanced moves. And so how it works is that you have to time a move at exact moment. So let's say whether you're charging a kick or a tackle, and you charge it at the right time, you'll be able to, for example, for the tackle, you'll be able to steal the ball and to hit your opponent far. So it just adds that extra layer of people that want to go above and beyond, and that's always welcome. And I think that's how all games should be built. So that's very exciting that I feel this game's gonna have a really high skill ceiling. Another thing that I also love is the fact that there's gear and armor, and so you can also make, again, the gear that was available. I think because you needed coins to actually use them, and so I imagine the only way to get coins through the early access was through playing online, which I wasn't able to, but again, I'll get to that. But from what I saw is that there was a variety of gear, and from your chest to your head to your legs, and I think it was your gloves. So you had 4 type of pieces of armor to wear. And so how I imagine what might happen is that you can also make a fusion of a character. So for example, Bowser and Donkey Kong are typically tank type characters, and usually they're the big slow guys, right? So what I imagine you could probably do is make him strong and fast, but for example, he runs out of stamina quickly, even though there's not exactly a stamina meter. But you get my point. There's going to be some type of trade-off. So you're able to make a character that normally won't go together, like the quick and agile character will make them strong or stronger than usual. So I'm really excited to see what type of depth the gear and armor is going to be. So that's very exciting. But as with everything, not everything was good. So let's start with the bad. So you see how I was talking about before that I wasn't able to play online, and technically I was, but how this early access worked, that you can only play online at particular moments, right? And it was at a specific time at 11 p.m. And for me, it just baffled me as to why Nintendo would have it that way. Possibly because they didn't want the servers to get overwhelmed, or they just wanted players to have the best experience, and so maybe they had the most manpower during that time. I don't know, but frankly I found that really stupid. And here's the thing, even if they did allow that, I would be okay with it if they at least allowed local online play, because I wanted to at least play with my brother, at least play with someone. But the fact is that I didn't even get to do that, and I don't really see why that would be such a bad thing, because this is only a limited time demo. And yes, I don't know why Nintendo always does this. I can make a whole rant about this, but this demo was only open during the weekend, which I could understand. If it was a full game and it was only during the weekend, I could understand that. But this is just a demo. Why only have it open just for the weekend? again, I can make a whole rant of why this is so stupid. But yeah, that was very frustrating. That it was only at particular times, and during that time when it was available, I was busy. The other thing I don't like about this game is that the amount of, how should I say this? Basically, the lack of characters. So, Mario Strikers Battle League has a fair amount of characters. I think it's between 8 to 10, right? And the unfortunate thing is that I'm gonna say the pre-sequel, the game that came before that had at least like 16 characters. So for me, it's kind of unfortunate that now they're not allowing as much characters. But again, this is just the early access, so maybe they have more characters behind the scene that you have to unlock. So this could simply just be the available characters when you start. So I could totally be wrong, and I hope that's the case. But it would be disappointing to see that there's not the same variety of characters. And I'll talk about this in the meh section. The meh section is basically, I don't know how I feel about this. So the good is the good, the bad is the bad, and the meh is, I don't know how I feel about this. I need more information or more time for it to settle for me to have a final decision. And so the first thing I want to talk about is the hyper strikes. So as I said before, the hyper strikes is your kind of final attack, and it allows you to use your ultimate move. And each character has a different ultimate move, but it's generally the same, that it just gives you a high percentage of getting the shot in. And so this game did something different. And again, this game is so new that I don't know how I feel about it. But in the previous games, you can do your hyper strike anytime that you want to, but it's just a high risk, high reward move because it takes kind of a few seconds to set up to do the move. And so for this game, you need a special orb to use your special move. And the thing about that, I'm just not a big fan of that, because that's like a huge base on luck. It's similar to how Smash Bros had the Smash Ball rather than you actually earning to use your final smash. So in this game, it's the same thing, that I don't know if there's things that you can trigger it, whether you're losing or whatever, that triggers the hyper strike to come, but it just can come in a random, and I just don't like that random aspect of it. I prefer that you build it up in meter if you perform like world time moves, or you get attacked on or something. So again, maybe this could turn out to be something that I actually really enjoyed, but for now I'm a very hesitant in terms of how I feel. The second thing is, all the items seem the same. And so what I mean by that is that they're just a standard Mario item, from the green shells to the bananas to the mushrooms, all the typical Mario items that you know. And that necessarily isn't a bad thing, but with a sequel, people want to see new things. And so, again, I have to keep saying that this is the demo, so maybe there are things that we have yet to see that they haven't shown us. So I hope that there is more things to come, but it is a little disappointing to see if that's just all the items, but not necessarily a bad thing. So the third thing was that I was hoping that the defender had more options than defending. So what I mean by that is, for the goalie, at least for the previous game, when you perform your hyper strike, you went to like a mini cutscene, and so you had to point the Wii remote at the screen, and so you pretty much had to catch the balls as they were coming towards the screen. And so in this game, it was a little different from what I see, and again, I could be wrong. From what I see, you have to rapidly press a button, whether that be A, B, whatever. And again, that's okay, but I prefer that mini game. It added a lot more challenge, and it was a lot more fun and a lot more dramatic. And I feel like just rapidly pressing A is just, I don't know, it just felt kind of lazy as an idea. Again, it's not bad, nor is it good. It's just, I guess if it works, it works. Who knows if there's kind of more options a defender might have, or depending, maybe you could upgrade a defender, or who knows. But I just hope maybe there's more to that. So the fourth thing is that everyone on your team is a main character. And so what I mean by that is, in the previous games, you would have the main, like the team captain, which would be Mario, Luigi, Peach, etc., the Mario cast. And then the side characters would be like Boo, Toad, all those other guys. And they all have their own special abilities. Like Toad his special that he can leap over people, and then Boo is that when you charge to shoot with him, he can go through people. And for this game, it's just the main characters, which, you know, I would say out of the things in the meh section, this is more something I'm more optimistic about. That it's kind of cool that you're actually playing as, like, among your team there's the main people like Mario, Luigi, etc. So they might actually have more abilities to be more interesting. So that was just, I guess, something interesting that I discovered, but isn't necessarily a bad thing. And the last thing I want to talk about is, earlier I mentioned the fact that the lack of characters in the game, right? And so again, it is unfortunate that we might not have as much bigger roster as we had in the previous games. It may not be that bad because what they're trading in for variety of characters, in exchange we're getting depth. So each character is much more deeper than they ever were before. And I think that goes back to the gear and armor system of upgrading your character. And I think in a sense they may replace the other characters. So it might be a shame that you won't get to play as Diddy and Piranha Plant and all those other guys. If those characters you can pretty much make them, then they don't really need to exist. So although it's sad to not see those characters anymore, at least we're getting much more deeper characters. And so it's better to have a smaller roster that's much more deeper, much more balanced, than a big roster and then having like 3 or 4 characters viable and then the rest are just like they can barely compete. But overall, you know, I am excited for Strikers, and I'm just happy that a new game is being made. So I do plan to get it next week, and I do plan to do a full review on the game. So look forward to that. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and have an awesome weekend.